On the savannah, the strongest is not always the one who wins. The lion faces off against wild dogs in a high-stakes battle for territory and food. Will brute force or collective intelligence take control of this clash? The heart-pounding animal fight night begins right now. Lions are ruthless predators. Even though they possess a biological bite force of up to 650 pounds per square inch, their true power does not lie in a single explosive bone-crushing bite. The lion's ultimate weapon is the biological chokehold. Instead of wasting energy crushing hard bone structures, it uses its jaws to lock onto the opponent's trachea or carotid artery. With pressure maintained continuously for 2 to 5 minutes, the lion establishes a cold, methodical suffocation shutdown. This is an optimal biological strategy. The pressure is just enough to cut off the oxygen supply, yet extremely effective at protecting the teeth from cracking or breaking, and at minimizing the risk of counterattacks from the victim's final struggling efforts. The lion does not need noise. It wins through silence and the slow erosion of life. It is a species that operates on a completely opposite system. Wild dogs do not need armored, keratinized hide or brute muscle power. Their weapon is limitless endurance. This is not merely a race of speed, but a suspended biological sentence. Wild dogs can maintain a continuous speed of about 37 miles per hour over distances of up to 31 miles. A capability that most offensive weapons in nature cannot match. Their strategy is not aimed at a quick finish, but at dragging the opponent into a state of total collapse. Every minute the animal fight night continues is a minute the enemy is being stripped away. Oxygen is wrung dry. The body's water supply evaporates. And glycogen reserves in the muscles drop to zero. When the enemy's neural reflexes begin to shut down from exhaustion, that is when the wild dogs deliver the decisive 300. For wild dogs, Once the chase begins, the opponent has already been half defeated. At the Serengeti, environmental change is rewriting every rule. Prolonged drought does not only drain water sources, it also creates scarcity across the food chain. The antelope herds migrate early in search of life. And those left behind are pushed into a fatal game with a survival probability of 0. The wild dog pack, once professional hunters, is now being driven into a corner. The harshness of the environment turns them from hunters into the hunted. To survive, they are forced to confront lions directly to steal food. When hunger overwhelms fear, the wild dogs enter forbidden territory. This is not just an animal fight night over a meal, it is a battle for existence. On one side stands a lion defending its prize. On the other stands a pack of wild dogs with nothing left to lose. The lion launches a preemptive strike, a pounce aimed straight at the wild dog's neck. A bite that locks him tight. Instead of releasing, the lion engages the biological chokehold. With a steady bite force of 650 pounds per square inch, it snaps the vertebrae and completely cuts off the opponent's oxygen supply. One challenger collapses instantly. This is not momentary brutality, it is an efficiency calculation. A fast finish to preserve the plans. But the loss of a packmate does not make the wild dogs retreat. On the contrary, they activate the collective reflex system. They switch to an endurance-based strategy. Exploiting the lion's brief sluggishness after the strike, the wild dogs form a pincer formation. They do not charge head-on, but instead nip repeatedly. They deliver bites to the lion's flanks and hind legs. The strategy is clear. They do not need to defeat the lion right now. They are stealing glycogen. The animal fight night is over. The lion walks away with the prize, the carcass of a wild dog. In this world, mistakes mean doom. The defeated wild dog is no longer a hunter. It officially becomes part of the food chain. Nature has no mercy and no compassion. Here, life is measured in blood and brutal survival lessons. Subscribe to the channel today so you don't miss the most brutal animal fight night in the wild.